Hey, Dr. Luke here. And I'm guessing you clicked on that link because you are a business professional just like myself. And one of the questions that you've run into lately is a client or a customer talking to you about your online training, and they're asking you, should we really go with online training? Is it really as effective as face-to-face training? And you've probably heard them talk about their number one concern, and that number one concern is always going to be your interactivity and your engagement. We know that's the issue that we're dealing with. So again, I'm Dr. Luke, and I'm going to show you today my 3 favorite apps that help to demonstrate to our clients or our customers that our online training is in fact just as engaging and interactive, if not more, than our face-to-face training. So first thing I want to do with you is briefly cover the advantages and disadvantages of these educational tools. I'm going to start out with the disadvantages. Number one is the fact that we just said this educational tool, and we're talking about online training. So I'm going to be talking to you about these apps, which you're seeing shared on the screen right now. I'll get to these in a minute, but what I want to bring up first and foremost is that these are online. What I mean by that is we have a target audience, as I'm sure you do for your training, that is anywhere from 18 years old up to 68 years old, right? And anything in between. Well, guess what happens in that huge age range there? You're going to run into a lot of folks who are not technologically savvy. And when that happens, what they get overwhelmed with learning the actual tool itself, and that actually takes away from the training. So not only are they disengaged and probably sitting at home, right? I'm sitting here at my home office. There's 100 other things going on. So working from home, which is probably where they're at, they're going to run into having their kids, their dogs, they're preparing meals or whatever it is they're doing in their normal home life. And I know we'd like to say, well, they're home and they're working, so they're doing they're paying attention. Not going to happen. That's just not the way it is. But the more engaging that you are, the more engaged that you can keep people, the more interactive and the more of an interactive environment that you put together. Well, guess what? Then you actually do capture and captivate their attention. And then when they're interacting and they're participating in the online class, then they're not going to worry about letting the dog out. Then they're not going to worry about cooking that, meal and preparing it, or, picking the kids up. They're actually going to get that covered by, we'll say, a friend, a spouse, whoever else. But they'll find a way because they're actually having fun and they're engaged. So the technology is an issue. Some people have a huge learning curve and they're more wrapped up in learning the tech than they are what the actual material that's being presented. And the other is life. Life happens when you're in an online environment. It just does. So that being said, I'm going to share with you my top 3 apps where if you use these 3 apps like we do, I'm going to talk about some variations on them too, but if you learn to use these effectively, you can keep your engagement really high and people are going to be very interactive when you're working through your whatever it is, if it's projects or training or whatever it is that you do, whatever online environment that you have. Number one here is Zoom. And the reason I bring up Zoom and all 3 of them actually, if you will, is because they're free. Zoom does have a free version. Now, ironically, I'm shooting on Microsoft Teams right now. Microsoft Teams is not free. Microsoft Teams costs a couple $100 a year, but let's just say for the sake of keeping everything on the free side, can we use tools that everybody knows and understands, that everybody's comfortable with, that don't cost us any extra money? Well, yeah, you can. You have Zoom. And as you can see, Zoom here, it's kind of small on here, but it says you can host unlimited 40-minute meetings for up to 100 participants. So there are restrictions on there. However, you do have the ability to run your meetings here. So, and people are generally pretty comfortable when you say, hey, we're going to do this on Zoom. They've generally heard of it. So there's a couple of positives for you. So you do have Zoom. Now, on the other hand, you do have the paid subscriptions like Microsoft Teams, which I'm not addressing the paid stuff today, but there's more functionality inside of like a Microsoft Teams. But can I get the job done in the interactivity in Zoom? Absolutely. As long as people are face to face, eyeball to eyeball, it helps. It's so much better to have your cameras on and engaging with one another. The next one we have is Dropbox. Now, Dropbox, you can see down this left-hand corner here, that there's a basic version which has free. Now, the basic version does allow you for a particular class. You can trade the tools that you're working on, the files that you're engaging with, so that you can work in a cloud environment and people get the work done in real time. So you can work together in real time and you're not uploading and downloading files constantly. People can just log in, get inside of there, and you can have a free account The free account will get people in. The free account will allow you to store up to 2 gigabytes. And by the way, each person on the team can have 2 free gigabytes. Yeah, see? So there's ways that you can get around and actually store some more files, and you can share links and share with each other so you can get in there and work in real time. And then last but not least is my favorite, which is Miro. Now, Miro is a tool that does so many different things, and this is a free version. And the free version, by the way, we have found as an organization is actually better than the paid version. Now, that's a huge bonus. You can do things on here like brainstorming. You can flow chart to do your process mapping. You can do Kanbans. You can do, so agile project management. I'm going to show you how simple it is to learn something like this. Let's just grab a particular board. So if we grab a board here, let's say we want to create a new board and we all want to start working together. Well, you could just follow, and all I really got to do here is click on this plus sign. See, I got myself a new frame. So I can get myself over on this frame, and I can do something as simple as grab this sticky note, left hold and click, and just drag and drop it over, and I can put hello y'all from Texas, right? So we're in Texas. So I can put hello y'all, and I can just keep dragging more and more stickies over, or I can do templates on here. I can change the size, I can change the color, I can change the style of the writing, right? I can come up here and, if I want to change different colors on there, it's that simple. So I'm not going to give you some tutorial on how to do this, but what I can tell you is we found it only takes 10 to 15 minutes of actual interaction time for students to feel comfortable using this, or clients to feel comfortable using this. So you have tools that are not only free, but they actually facilitate the learning. And now why I say facilitate the learning is because I really want you to understand this right here. It's not about these tools. Now, I just talking about different applications or these 3 tech tools that can help you out. They're free, they're online, they're cloud-based. Everyone can work, simultaneously, collaboratively, work together. There's so many advantages to doing this, but I do want to be crystal clear on this. It's not about the tool itself, right? The tool, all the tool is going to do is it's going to help you to unlock the learning potential in people. It's going to help to nurture that environment where we can learn. So it's not about the tool or the technology. It's about the learning that occurs. So when you're talking to your clients or your students or whoever they may be, it's not about, do we have tools that are going to teach us to learn? That's not it. What these tools are going to do are they're going to facilitate the learning. They're going to help us to facilitate the discussions. They're going to help us to touch the material, to bring it to life, to do the material, right? So we could take it from just head knowledge to actually hands, being tactile and working with it. That's what these tools help us to do. They help us to engage with the material, which solidifies our learning. As I put up the references and the inspiration for this study, which you see before you here, I want to leave you with this final thought. I already said it a minute ago, but I want to reinforce it here. Just remember, it is not about these tools. These tools are only conduits that help us facilitate actual real learning. We go from knowers to doers. Now, I hope these tools will help you along your journey as much as they've helped me. I'm Dr. Luke. See you in the next video.